Hello my dear friends, this is a PaintyKat. My name is Catherine. Today we're going to paint with acrylic, and let me remind you, the next year it's gonna be Year of the Mouse. It's a Chinese symbol of the year, but nowadays it's well known about worldwide. Honestly, for first, it wasn't in my plan to create a symbol of the year, but I found a really nice, beautiful idea. Probably you heard about very popular story. It's a Christmas fairy tale about a Nutcracker, and there was a queen of the mouse and a king of the mouse, or a prince of the mouse. So anyway, it's a very nice idea to mix them together and create a portrait of his or her majesty. It's up to you what gender you're gonna create. As for me, I see no difference between them. I checked a couple of references, and of course you can find references as well. This is a demonstration version of tutorial. It's kind of short. We're gonna talk about main steps here. You can find a real-time tutorial. It's long. It's going for 2 hours and 12 minutes, and you can find it in my Creative Club. All links are down below. I'm painting on a canvas on board. It's a size 20-30 centimeters, and for first, just create nice warm tone on the painting layer. It's a umber burnt, red, ochre, and bit of violet. Shape. Of course, we need nice basic shape for the head, for future portrait. This is a roll of the tape. Probably everyone have it, so that's why I picked up this one. Diameter, I have different brands of the tape. Inner diameter basically the same. So put it on your canvas. Of course, on the painting layer need to be dry already. I use the hair dryer. And a color, a base color for the head. Look, gray, looking as no color at all. It's a colorless. So put that tiny bit of violet. It will make a huge difference. Yes, on a canvas right now, look at this trick. I'm filling just an inner circle like this. It's done. On a canvas, this color looking as a simple gray, but take a look on my palette where this color placed on white, and you can understand the actual color of the mix. It's a really grayish violet. This way you will give to this portrait more life, because colors of the shadows for the head we're gonna use with violet as well, and highlights they're gonna be peachy, like light orange, something like that. I very like combination pink and gray together. It's looking so gentle, very beautiful. Color is gonna be all pastel. Shape. Let's complete it. Find a spot for the nose, and be sure you have a nice space between a nose, point of the nose, and left side of your canvas. As soon as you found a spot, connect it to the circle shape. Ear. Let's try to find it. It's gonna be somewhere here. So find spot for the eye. Eyes, by the way, yes, it's need to be bigger compared to the natural, like a real mouse, because it's a fairy tale character. Ear. Shape. How big it's need to be. Again, try not to hit the edge of your canvas. And by the way, you can change surface for painting. You can take just a paper thick enough for acrylic, but be sure size is close enough to mine. You can take letter size A4 because it's really close, it's just 1 centimeter different. And if you don't like an idea, create a shape with me step by step, all this nose, ear and all other parts. You can use traceable, also available in my creative club, and links are down below. Head, leave it like that, let it dry, because in this time we still have lots to do, right, in the future. So need to create a really beautiful, gorgeous luxury for collar around the neck. What type of the four kings and queens usually wear? It's a white with a tiny black spots. It's a very beautiful animal, by the way. It's calling ermine, and in a winter season, ermine have white, beautiful fur and a tiny black and on the tail. So in ancient times, this color, this type of the fur was very popular for the king and queen outfits, and yes, we're gonna create it as well. Right now, only a shape, a volume for future color is important, and color of it need to be dark enough. I used a natural Bristol brush, really rough one, you know, to create a fluffy color, and about body and hands. Look, it's still a fairy tale, so mouse there can talk, they can walk as a human, so body and hands just repeat same as you usually can see on a portraits, like an ancient portraits. You have to let it dry, and we're getting back to the head area. So let's create some shadows and lights. About shadows, need to know background gonna change. This underpainting, it's giving a nice warm tone the whole composition, but it's right now looking too light. Later it's gonna be much darker, almost black at some points. So of course try to create like a more visible shadow around the nose bridge, right, and a cheek on the bottom part. Inside of the ear, yes, it's a dark enough shadow there as well, but ear, it's not covered with a grey fur, it's a pink inside. I like this color. It's not a pink, by the way, not just a combination of a red and white. It's also have a hint of ochre light in it. Later, we will add a little bit of yellow also for the highlighting. Look at color for highlighting on the face of this mouse. It's a peachy color. Not white, it's important moment because again, just white and gray, it's looking a colorless. The crown. This part is up to you. You can repeat my shape, but also you can find your favorite shape. You can create it here. It can be more pointy, you know, it can have more gems. Just plan your time, time you're ready to spend for painting. Smart. More details you do, like a pattern, golden elements, beautiful gems, they all shiny, so you will need extra time to detail it one by one. For the crown, I'm gonna create just one gem on top, and on my crown, on my composition, it's gonna be a sapphire, blue stone, but my favorite one, honestly, it's emerald. I like green colors, so you can replace it. I think blue here gonna look better with red. It's a classical color combinations, red and blue together in one composition. So yeah, this time it's blue. Inside of the crown, this is a velvet, like a red or maybe burgundy velvet. It's gonna be dark enough and it's need to look older than just a new made very bright red velvet. This one need to look as ancient fabric. Very important step here, it's bottom eyelid, and it's done again with a pink, so probably you can see it there. Color of the eye, it's a pure black with a strong sharp white highlight spot in the center. It's not exactly in the center, it's a little bit more right from the center, and as soon as you will put it there, your mouth getting alive. It's really looking like a real one. It's looking at you from your painting. This beautiful black ends of the tails. First, it's a nice idea to create them with a fluffy, like natural Bristol brush, and only a tiny points, very pointy one, I'm correcting with a smaller brush. Color done, very fluffy, I like this effect. And next step here, I'm gonna take time again, as almost everything in this painting, because it's a pattern of the embroidery. I'm not a big fan of flower patterns or maybe some stripes. It can be, it's up to you what kind of embroidery you want to create. As for me, I like leaves, I like curved lines. Some lines can be thicker, some thinner, and you have to choose a brush compared to those pattern you're gonna create. Mine, it's leaves, so that's why my brush for first it's a big round watercolor brush with a pointy tip and some tiny fixes I can do with a smaller brush. Lace, it's a second color for the gorgeous outfit for this fairy tale mouse. And color, it's just a clear white. For it, you don't have to mix anything. What I can recommend to you, check Google in internet some crochet, take a look how it's looking in real, because it's a kind of important to understand what you're gonna create. It was my hobby for a couple of years, about maybe 4 or 5. I know how to do a crochet lace streams, so that's why I can paint it with a confidence. Main idea here, you have to combine thicker lines and thinner lines inside of a big elements. For example, here on a chest, look, it's a circle almost. It's have just a tiny corners, but in general it's a circle. So I'm gonna create flower on a chest in the center. How I do it, I'm going from general to specific. First, I have to find a big shape, then a center, and then look, I'm going around with a thicker threads. Tiny elements inside of the petals, it can be done, it's need to be done with a very thin brush strokes, but main lines, demonstrating pattern or maybe some element, you have to paint with a thick brush stroke, like a triangle shape outline of the triangle. You have to paint with a thicker brush strokes, are tiny looms that going all around, giving some detailing. It's done with a very tiny brush, number 0, with a pointy tip of it. Next step, so embroidery already dried. I can see, I can understand pattern well, and it's already possible to see where light is and where shadow is. So put highlights only on a top part of the sleeve. Here in a demonstration version I will skip part with a gold chain that going around the neck and a gem in the center, but in a real tutorial we doing everything step by step without any skips. Let's take a look on a crown. It's a time to detail it completely. First, I need to correct metal elements. It's have to be thick enough, and it's need to look the same on the whole shape. I did it with orange. Let me correct it a little bit more. And colors. Colors for the crown. For first, please choose only a dark one. Time for bright yellow, it will be a little bit later. First you need to create very nice basic shape. It's need to be symmetrical. Check all the spots. As soon as you are happy with basic shape, yeah, it's a time for tiny reflections and highlights. Don't blend highlights. It's very important because it's metal material. It's metal, so all highlights here have to be very sharp. Color for highlights, it can be yellow for first. Don't forget to add white in it because yellow lemon, it's transparent a little bit, but you need a nice coverage. Even with a tiny bit of white in a mix, after color will dry, you will notice it's not looking same shiny as it was when color when acrylic was fresh. So you will need to layer a little bit on top, like a second layer or maybe even a third one. This highlights repeating the shape of the metal elements, and these tiny holders, it's metal as well. They keeping gem on a place. As soon as you will add it, don't forget to put highlights on them. Also, I told you you can decorate this crown with some beautiful lines, gemstones, but don't forget to put highlight on each metal element, like this one. Imagine it's a French lily. It's a pointy in a center, like a big pointy petal in a center. You can put it in each part of the velvet, red velvet, and the tiny petals that going on the left and the right. It's curved a little bit and it's a smaller in a size. So first create shape of the decorative element, and next switch to another brush and put highlights on metal edges, like this. More decorations you do, more time it's gonna take for detailing. In my view, honestly, these lilies is just enough. I'm kinda happy how crown looking. This is some layering for the highlights, and that's it. Crown done. Vibrissae. Well, it's a tiny hairs. It's a really long one, and almost all animals have it. Cats, dogs. If you have any pet, you can take a look on this in real. If you don't, Google. Be curious, you know how these tiny details looking in a real. Color for this, it's a light gray. I like it, and type of the brush, it's a long line brush, because you know brush strokes here have to be so long. You have to start from the nose and continue it till it will cross this white fur color. But start of each brush stroke, you creating vibrancy have to be blended a little bit. So start have to be soft, because it's a very like a velvet looking for around of the mouse nose. In the end, I recommend to you to remove palette somewhere far enough from your painting, because it's also taking attention when you're trying to understand how painting looking as a whole in general. Palette, if it's placed near to your painting, it's also taking attention. So many beautiful colors already on it. And if you happy with the final result, everything you have to do is to sign your painting and it's done. My dear friends, thank you for all of your support. It means so much for me. Thank you for painting with me. I hope you enjoyed this scenery. It's not a typical for me, honestly. It's a fairy tale, it's a portrait, and it's an animal same time. So if you enjoyed it, just subscribe my channel and give me some thumbs up. Welcome on my creative club. Links are down below, and let's create it together in real time with detailed comments. Share to me your paintings on Instagram, #PaintyKat. I wish you all the best. I wish you nice Christmas ideas for creativity, and I'll catch you on my next tutorials. Bye bye.